Drones. Once upon a time, these incredibly smart, remote-controlled aircraft only existed in the realm of science fiction. But things change. Now they're not only science fact, but everyone can own one.
I've got it set up in a way right now that it's actually designed for television production.
In fact, almost every aerial shot you see on TV these days was probably shot by a drone. Now, a drone with all the electronic bells and whistles is going to cost you a pretty penny. And the drones that are relatively inexpensive because they don't have the bells and whistles are going to be difficult to fly. And even the so-called inexpensive drones are still going to cost you a pretty penny. So what would you think of a drone that came from a store like this? Far-fetched, you say? Well, anyone who's ever shopped at Five Below knows they're no stranger to cool flying toys. But these are kind of limited in what they can do.
That's it, huh?
So an actual radio-controlled quadcopter drone from Five Below? How good could that possibly be? Well, we're going to find out, because this time, on The Last Wonder of Mars, we're going to unbox and then test the $5.55 drone. Well, hi there. Now is the moment. We are going to unbox the Five Below $5.55 drone. Now, this is called an air crawler, palm-sized, high-performance drone. Now, I have a tendency to think that probably this was a lost lead when the Five Below stores reopened after the lockdown, because I have seen this particular model other places at a vastly increased price. But nonetheless, let's see what we have here. All right. Packed it tight enough, did they? Okay. All right. Here we have the instructions. And here is the aircraft itself. Okay. So, everything's taped into place. So, as with most things, they really don't want you to get it out of the package. There we go. Alright. And here's the airship itself. It's got this little protective thing around it, which looks like it just clips onto the side here. So, there's a space here for a battery. You can see right there. Unlike a lot of other crafts, this one's not a camera ship, so there's no camera mounted on this one at all. It's just a flyer, it looks like. Let's see what else comes with it. When is this open then? Oh, let's open from the side here. There we go. And the accessories we have here. Looks like this would be a single battery, it looks like. And this looks pretty much like the controller. Yeah, definitely controller, alright. Let's see what all of this is. Okay. Alright, it comes with, obviously, pretty standard that you've got extra propeller blades. I'm not sure what these are. Left and right, so... Oh, they're the pieces for the control pad. Yeah. Okay. Your standard little screwdriver. that always comes with these. And these are for the controllers, which the controller, you notice, has little metal parts. You can change them for these little rubberized ones. Alright, our other little bag here we have batteries and the cord. Or a single battery. Charger, charging cord, and the battery itself. Proprietary battery too, that's kind of impressive. Alright, looks like we're dealing with two, looks like AAA batteries. That's cool. Alright. Go. Basic controller. Right. I have a tendency to think what we've got here is a lot nicer than just your standard $5 Five Below Air toy. This looks like it could be some little ship. Now probably we'll have to charge everything up before we give it a test flight, so why don't I plug that in, charge it up, and we'll take it from there. Okay, we have the battery charged, and we have the ship here. Now you'll notice right back here is where you insert the battery. So it just slips in like this. And put it into place. And you'll notice that it lights up. So this thing is ready to fly. Now, the back of it has red flashing lights. And the front, that's got those little eyes, right? That's kind of ominous looking, but that's the front there. So now this is the first real problem I can see with this little drone. The craft itself has no on-off power switch. The only way to power up and down is by pulling the battery in and out. Since these parts are thin and delicate plastic, I see this as a major design flaw. Now anybody that's actually flown a drone before will have no trouble with this controller. It's pretty much the same as most other ones I've seen. This is up and down. The other control is sideways. You have your on switch here. Switch it on. Right. Now, you sync the drone with the by taking this up, then down. Now it's set to fly. Now on this one here you also have your launch button and speed button. So, alright, let's lift her up in the air and see what happens. Alright, and up she goes. The initial control to lift her off the ground seems a little bit sluggish, but that's probably because it's in slow mode. Altitude control seems to be alright though. It does seem to be drifting to the left a little bit. Let's try the trim button over here. Huh. No. No. Let's try the other way. No. Okay. It doesn't really seem to be responding to the trim buttons much. However, the actual controls here, that's not too bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Of course, now this is an indoor flight, so when we take it outside, it might be a little bit different, but that is troublesome having it pull to the left like that so much. But, well, let's take it down and then we'll continue outside. Okay, this is my backyard. Right? It's a nice clear day out here, so we'll put the battery back inside the craft, and we'll take her up and see how she responds, mostly in the open air without restricting walls around. Okay. And up we go. All right, and up we go. All right, let's send her out a little bit and get a little altitude. Altitude hold is working quite well. There's a little bit of wind, but not much. All right. Controls seem to be holding quite well. Let's bring it back. Yep. Okay. This little craft outside seems to be responding better than it did indoors. I don't know why. It's not really drifting that way that much. So, yeah, pretty cool. Right. That's not bad of a control this time. Good flight. Good flight. Now the wind's picking up a little bit, so I'm going to take us out over here to a little mound. This is a little ways away, and it is fairly windy here, and the wind is blowing at my back toward the hill. So I'm going to send her up and see if she commands. No, she's just getting blown away. The wind is just blowing her away. She's not obeying her return control at all. So, well, we'll just drop her right here, and then I go pick her up. It's kind of what I thought. A lot of these toy drones that you get are just, useless in wind. Okay, a couple of notes from that last couple of test flights. First of all, like I said, this craft is helpless in wind. Also, it has problems responding to certain controller commands, which is actually common with cheaper drones. These include the trim commands. which in the first flight inside I noticed that it may or may not work all the time. Now, in the first outside flight, I didn't really need to mess with the trim because it wasn't drifting, but when it does, the trim commands are supposed to correct it and they don't all the time. But the only thing that's actually critical would be the landing command, which is supposed to power down the rotors. This command on this ship anyway seems to fail maybe 20% of the time, leaving you to pull a battery to get the thing to stop. But what can I tell you? It's a toy. And for the price, you know, it is what it is. All right, well, after 2 or 3 test flights, both in the living room here and outside, it's not a bad little airship, especially for the price. For $5, you just can't beat it. The controls are easy to use. It responds fairly well, especially if you take it out of the training mode and put it into a faster speed. Then it responds. It's terrible in wind, so this is obviously a little toy drone that'd be better used inside or used on a day when there's no wind at all. In the slowest mode, the altitude hold seems to work all right. Basically, it's for no bells and whistles, but just a basic little airship to play with. At $5.55, this was a hot buy. So I hope you enjoyed the unboxing. I don't know if you were able to find this particular airship. What was it called? Oh, there we go. Yeah, yes, it's the Rocket RC Air Crawler. If it was like $20 or something like that, I don't know if it would actually be worth it, because it is basically mostly a toy. But if you can find a Five Below that still has this and pick it up for $5.55, it's a good deal. That'll about do it for this episode of The Last Wanderer of Mars. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it was instructional. I think I'm going to go fly this little thing some more because it is kind of fun. See you next time, guys.
The mechanical monster! Look out!
And for more aerial adventures, see these earlier episodes of The Last Wanderer of Mars. Drone, the mini drone, attacked by a bat, and the first day of spring. Find them all on the Last Wanderer of Mars playlist. And remember, for more wanderings, don't forget to subscribe.
Smoking rockets, Commander. You mean they haven't subscribed already?
And when you do subscribe, hit that little bell to receive notifications of all my upcoming shows.